Hello, YouTube friends and family. Welcome back to our journey in beginning our homestead. We left you off with who we were and our intentions to starting the homesteading life. This video is going to allow you to see our property through various maps and what we plan on doing with the land, as well as our road trip from Texas to North Carolina. As we began looking for property, we contacted a realtor with interest in a parcel that showed to be 10.4 acres. After communicating with her, she provided this map which showed possible property boundaries. She also provided this map highlighting the property that we intended to purchase. Considering this information wasn't exact, the realtor highly recommended that we have a survey completed for the land. This would allow us to know exactly what we were purchasing and where the true property boundaries were located. After several weeks, we received the survey pictured here, confirming what we had previously received from pictures. With this information in hand, we spent numerous hours deciphering the codes to get actual locations for all the corners of the property. Pictured here are the pins marking the boundaries to our land, giving us a better understanding on how we would proceed with planning for clearing the land for what we were wanting to do with it. We brainstormed through multiple different layout options and ideas, but could not come up with a true plan until the county came out and conducted their soil perk test to determine the best location for the septic tank on our land. Once the application was submitted, we received the permit about a week later and saw the authorized location for the septic placement as shown here. Again, we had to go back to the drawing board to mitigate the hazards of the septic leach field and ensure everything we had planned to do would be safe. Shown here is the final layout of our homestead and the plan that we have developed. Along the front, you see that we plan on building planter boxes with a trellis system to serve as our front fence. We had to adjust the location of our driveway and the placement of our water harvesting system. The land does not show many trees along the front of the property, so we will be removing the large cedar in the front and planting maple along the fence line. This section shows the location of where the county permitted our septic system on the land. The lower portion is the actual leach field, while the upper is reserved if there happens to be any issues in the future. Pictured here is the garden area measuring 35 feet by 50 foot squared. There is additional area to the left, increasing the size, but I'm not trying to determine the overall square footage of the garden. We also have plans to construct a 10 by 20 greenhouse in the vicinity of the garden to make it easier to start seedlings and prepare for planting. We plan on placing pigs on the property at some point, and determined that behind the garden would be the best location for them in the wooded area, which will also provide them shade and a cooler area to live in. Next to the greenhouse is where we decided would be the best location for our smaller animals. Here we will have an enclosure for our goats, chickens, and ducks. We are planning on providing them covered runs in the event we need to leave the homestead. This will provide them some security from predators. While we are on site, the plan is to allow them to roam freely throughout the yard. If you look along the back of the enclosures, you will notice a gabion wall, which we intend to use as a retaining wall to help reduce the grade on the property. Our final section is covered in the orchard area, where we plan on planting raspberries, blueberries, apples, pears, peaches, oranges, and lemons. The idea is to plant dwarf trees, which is also why the spacing is so close between the trees. The final segment of this video will bring you along with us during our road trip from Texas to North Carolina. Enjoy the time lapse. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Have a good evening.